Hey, today let's talk about Helldivers 2. The developers have shared details about an upcoming event. They talk about the future. They've also hired a new person to manage monetization for future shop items, and there's so much more I'll be covering. With that said, tap the like button below to show some love, and let's get right into it. Alright, it's been quite a while, Helldivers, since we've received any news about the full Illuminate faction, but things appear to be ramping up quickly. In fact, just recently, Arrowhead's CEO, Shams Jorjani, replied to a player who asked whether the recent announcement on May 8th would be a new Warbond trailer or the Warbond itself. Shams clarified that it's a teaser for an upcoming story trailer, with the trailer for the Warbond itself coming later. Now, I wonder if he meant the opposite, and I'll point out why I think that's the case here in a second, because we know as of late the developers have confirmed that the next Warbond reveal will be on May 8th, so I think what he was trying to say here is that the Warbond will be revealed on the date that was mentioned recently, then later on the story trailer will be revealed. It all makes sense considering the Helldivers 2 media team, as of recent, just posted an interesting image talking about an upcoming event. We could see the full post here, where they wrote, "Thanks to the relentless efforts of the Helldivers, the Meridian Singularity has been halted, and it's time for an official celebration for all citizens. Spend some unforgettable moments at Free Springs Retreat, Widow's Harbor, and party in the light of Singularity. Drinks, ration, live performances, more talent to be deployed, capacity is limited, attendance is invite only, invites have been delivered to select Class A citizens." So if you pay close attention to the image that they uploaded with that post, it says this event will be going down on May 13th, and we know that the next Warbond is going to be revealed on May 8th. Usually what the developers have done in the past is they tease the Warbond by showing us what's going to come with it, such as new armors, and they usually reveal either a new stratagem or weapons with a booster, then they tell us when the actual Warbond will drop. Typically those are revealed the next week following on a Tuesday, and what date is Tuesday? May 13th, which is the Singularity Party. So I don't know about you, but things are starting to connect here. I would be surprised if they didn't release the new Illuminate faction and the Warbond all in one go, just like how they did back when the Illuminate were first announced at the Game Awards. Not to mention, it would be exactly 6 months later since we've received the last major update for the Illuminate. I have a great feeling something is about to go down on May 13th, and it only makes sense for them to drop a new Warbond and a major update all in one go. This is obviously a hint and a teaser as to what's going to come. What are your thoughts on this? Does it make sense, or do you think this is some strange coincidence? I personally don't think it is, and I believe they're going to release a bunch of content on May 13th. Now, going back to what the CEO said about the story trailer being first, then the Warbond trailer later, I don't think that's the case, and he meant that the Warbond trailer will drop first, then they'll reveal the story trailer a week later, just like how they did when the Illuminate faction dropped during the Game Awards. Everything is coming together, and I can't wait to see what the developers have planned. So let me know what your response is in the comments below, and let's chat about it. Continuing forward, we have more exciting news, and this time it's about shop items and monetization for Helldivers 2. Arrowhead just hired a new product director, and a few videos back, I brought up how they listed this job on their site, and they finally picked up one. The good news about this is that the product director will handle monetization, as well as what they plan to give away for free, and so much more. So how do I know that they hired a person to handle this job? Well, it's because before it looked like this, and now afterwards, if you check the job site right now, it's been taken off. Usually this happens when they've hired a new person for that position. What I'd like to do now is go over this post, read what the job entails, and talk a bit about it. I have gone over this before in the past, but I know there's new subs on the channel that haven't seen this before. So here's what it says. As the product director for Helldivers 2, you'll play a key role in keeping players engaged and excited about the game. You'll be figuring out what we give away for free, what players love paying for, and making sure our monetization and retention systems follow the best loved, most effective methods from other games. In short, you'll be in charge of how the product aspects of the game evolves and thrives. Working with the product team, you'll bring solid insights and practical solutions to the table, drawing inspiration from other successful games. You'll be cherry-picking best practices that make sense for Helldivers 2, pitching innovative ideas that will shape our game's direction, and resonate with our community. Now, whoever got this position will assist Arrowhead in determining what they can give away for free, like armors or capes, maybe even banners, while also handling monetization, including shop items. This role will likely help set crossover item prices to avoid past mistakes, such as with those with the Killzone collaborations. You guys remember that last year, especially since the CEO recently mentioned they want to re-release those items, but can't until the pricing is resolved. That's exactly where this product director steps in. I wouldn't be shocked if we see collab items appear in the store this month or receive free items, since they hired this new person to handle monetization and to help give away items for free. Moving along, if you haven't been paying attention to the known issue list on Arrowhead's support site, they haven't updated it recently, leading some players to worry that the developers aren't aware of most of the issues in game, but that's not the case. We have a response from a support team member who replied to a diver saying they were upset about the developers not listing all the issues, and here's what the support team member B Vitamin said. Regarding the known issues page, it's up to date with the main known issues. I updated with stuff that players most commonly report on so that people know we're aware of things and don't need to send more reports about the issue, which helps the support team. It doesn't tell you what's fixed or when, so I don't think the page needs an update. The last update was 25 days ago, yes, but there haven't been any patches, thus no new known issues. When a patch is released, I'll remove the things that are fixed from the list. As you can tell, the developers are fully aware of the bugs. They only list the most commonly reported ones, which I completely understand. Anyhow, if you've checked the known issues list lately and are wondering why it hasn't been updated, her response explains why. They're fully aware of all the reported bugs, and just because a bug isn't on the list doesn't mean they don't know about it. We know 2 days ago the QA lead revealed that the next patch will fix the torso diver bug, the zombie bug where different faction enemies roam around with their heads blown off or their legs blown off and they can still, walk around, and a ton of other bugs and performance issues. If you haven't seen my previous video on that, I highly suggest you watch it. It's well worth watching. They discuss buffing the Plaz, reviewing the Eruptor, and so much more. Speaking of buffs, we're aware that they're looking at the Plaz 39, and a Helldiver wanted to know if they have any plans to buff the spear or nerf the crossbow or recoilless rifle in the next update. First off, I just want to say, what a strange request. Who honestly wants a nerf? Anyone? Nevertheless, the QA lead Jojo replied, all weapons are being constantly evaluated, but not any plans I can share. It looks like that's a difficult question for him to answer, and I don't blame him. Overall, it's good that they're constantly looking at all the weapons and stratagems to determine what to buff. I'm excited to see what they do with the Plaz 39 and the other weapons in game, and as I mentioned earlier, I recommend checking out my previous videos on the buff situation in Helldivers 2. Now, the QA lead also addressed the challenges of implemented performance changes in response to a player's frustration about bugs and the time it takes to release patches. The QA lead replied, I agree that it has been too long with performance and other bugs out there. However, we were not just working on the Warbond. Performance, for example, takes a lot of work. Yeah, they're not just working on Warbonds, they're apparently focused on other areas like bugs, performance, and I suspect new Illuminate enemies. The devs have a lot on their plate, and it seems tough for them right now. However, I think it'll be rewarding once this new update drops. Hopefully it won't have any major bugs or issues, because with almost any game, bugs are bound to appear after a big update. I think it's possible there will be some after this one, but we'll see soon enough. Not only that, there's a Helldiver that wants the developers to skip the next Warbond and instead focus on releasing a hotfix patch. The QA lead said it's not like that and they can't do that. Here's what he said in his response. Doesn't work like that. Some of the new fixes are tied to new features, and at some point we can't keep hotfixing. Absolutely, he's not wrong here. I mean, you gotta think about this. They have to add new features, they have to add new content. They just can't drop hotfixes mainly and then expect the player base to be happy. I think at this point it's best that they drop a major update that resolves a ton of issues, fixes performance, fixes bugs, buff some weapons, and add some new content, and I think that's the best way to approach it. As well as releasing a new Warbond, which we know they're currently in the process of doing, and I think this next big update is going to contain all of that. And I'm excited about it, I truly am. I think they're going down the right path here. Also, for those out there that believe they're not working on performance, he's mentioned it multiple times in the latest Helldivers 2 Discord chat here, and he even says right here that they're working really hard on performance. So I guarantee you this next update will be a lot better for you guys on performance. It will be a lot better in terms of content, and I think overall it's going to be a really, really awesome time for Helldivers. I think it's a good time to be a Helldiver, and if you're not one, buy the game today and you'll just have a blast. I guarantee it. Lastly, what we have for today is the top 3 comments. If you Helldivers would like to be featured, all you have to do is comment below, and that's it. The first top comment comes from Russ. They should buff the laser cannon and the scythe. Absolutely, I agree with you. Personally, I would love to see them buff the scythe mainly, give us a medium armor pin with it, and I'll be using that sucker all the time. The second top comment is by Agent Parsec. Personally, I think we managed to fail the major order because one of the Illuminate planets last night was causing players to crash when they tried to dive there. I think that caused a lot of players to get frustrated and quit diving that night. I know it did for a few friends of mine. I didn't know that. I didn't know there was an issue with that planet specifically, and that's interesting. Did anyone else experience this? If you're watching this right now, let me know in the comments. The third and final comment comes from Mandalorian. I hope that they bring the different visors have different HUDs to life. When they mentioned that was one of their ideas before launch, I thought it sounded so cool. Yeah, I for sure know what you're talking about. I believe it was Pillistad that brought that up, and it's something I certainly would love to see, you know? I think he talked about health visors, so if you had a health passive on or something like that, you could see certain health bars or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but I know what you're talking about. So there you go, those are the top 3 comments. If you can, support the channel by tapping the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications below, and if you guys have any questions, comments, or anything like that, be sure to post them below. And I appreciate everyone that's currently a member of the channel. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.